Which kind of class be this? Am I the only one that is not understanding this course in this class? Eh? I don't die, Jesus. I'm tired. I cannot do this course again. I want to feel I'm tired.
I want you to be clear. Tell me now, I need you to be clear. I will wait for you. I will wait for you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Star Galacoma, and today I'll talk about something that we all face, most of us face, but we don't always talk about, and that's imposter syndrome. As a medical student, there are times when I felt like I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, or that I don't even know what I'm doing here, like I don't deserve to be in medical school. And if you've ever felt that way, trust me, you're not the only one, you're not alone. Firstly, what's imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is that feeling of not being capable, of not being as competent as others think you are. Even when you are putting in enough effort and even when you are achieving success, like you're showing that you're doing well, but deep down within you, you're feeling like you don't know what you're doing. You're feeling like it's just by luck that you have been passing, that you have been doing well. And then you're fearing that one day they'll find out, people actually find out that you are not as smart as they think you are, or you're not as competent, or you're not that capable person, that competent person that they think you are. That's imposter syndrome. Now, how does imposter syndrome affect medical students? Most people might say that, oh, I'm so confident, I'm overconfident, I have confidence in myself, I can't suffer from imposter syndrome, I can't experience imposter syndrome. But you know that imposter syndrome is not just something that you wake up one morning and it starts. It's always triggered by something. There are different things that can trigger imposter syndrome in medical students, things like overwhelming workload. We all know that as medical students, our workload is much. Like it can never be less. It's always much. And then when your workload is much, you let me say you have seen the course outline for head and neck, for anatomy of head and neck. I'm in 300 level. That's why I'll keep using these courses. You have seen the course outline for anatomy of head and neck, and like, Lord of Jesus, this thing is too much. How am I going to finish it? I'm cooked. That is when you start feeling like that. It can also be triggered by high expectations of people around you, of your parents, of your family and friends. Let's say when you call your parents on phone now, they'll tell you, doctor, how are you doing? I hope school is going well. Doctor, I'm sure I trust you now. And then you are like, I don't know what I'm doing in school, and someone is calling you doctor. That's when all these feelings can be coming up. It can also be triggered by competitive nature. Everyone knows med school is so competitive. Not everyone wants you to win, not everyone wants you to pass them. Med school is competitive. Then it can be triggered by comparison. When you're comparing yourself with people, you're comparing yourself with your classmates. Oh, this person did this. Oh, this person is doing better than me. That is when you have imposter syndrome. You start feeling like you're not good enough, you're not doing well, you're bad. That is when you start feeling like that. Now that I've explained imposter syndrome and how it is triggered and how it manifests, I'll be sharing practical tips on how you can overcome imposter syndrome. The first step to overcoming imposter syndrome is to acknowledge your feelings. Acknowledge that you feeling this way is normal, that it's a valid feeling. It's not something that just came up. It's a normal experience that people go through, that most medical students go through. And as you're acknowledging these feelings, make sure that you remind yourself that this is not who you are, that you're feeling bad about yourself does not mean that you are bad. You're feeling that you're not enough does not mean that you're not enough. Acknowledge these feelings and understand that yes, I'm feeling this way. That's way to help you know that you need to take practical steps into overcoming that feeling. So the next step is to focus on your achievements. You can write out your past successes, you can write out the previous things you feel like you have achieved or the things you feel like you have accomplished. You can also write out those moments that you feel like you have been proud of yourself during them. Then when you look back at those things, you'll be like, if I could achieve these things, I could do better in med school. If I was the one that did this perfectly well, I can do better in med school. But the fact that you even got into med school is not a small achievement. So you have to learn how to celebrate your small victories. That way it will give you a boost. The next step is to talk to other people. Talk to your friends, talk to your classmates, talk to your colleagues in higher level. That way you understand that this feeling is normal. You're not the first person to experience this way. You also understand that they themselves have been in that position, they themselves have felt this way you are feeling, and it also helps provide a support system for you. The next step is to understand that perfection is not necessary. Okay, I found this one hard to understand. But yes, perfection is not necessary because, like, normally I'm someone that sets a standard for myself, sets a grade for myself. Like, if I don't achieve this grade, I will be like, God, Akuma, you're becoming a dullard. You don't know what you're doing. You're disappointing your parents. But you need to understand that making mistakes are parts of the process. You have to learn from your mistake. I don't say you shouldn't make all the mistakes in the world, though, but making mistakes are part of the process. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Mistakes will help you grow as a medical student. And then you also have to be kind to yourself, because if you are being too harsh on yourself, let me say you did well, you did poorly in this course, you did bad in this course, you now be like, because I did poorly in this course, I'm going to double my reading, I'm going to triple my reading, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to sleep. You're only making yourself to feel worse, because as you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're remembering that, oh God, I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing, what am I doing in med school? But once you understand that you cannot be perfect, I don't say that you should become mediocre or you shouldn't do well. But once you understand that perfection is not necessary, it will reduce the chances of you feeling like you're not enough. And that tip is to change your self talk. Yes, change the way you talk to yourself, because most people feeling this way, most people experiencing imposter syndrome, they're fond of talking to themselves negatively. Like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to be here. What are you doing in med school? Are you even sure you'll be a medical doctor? Once you start saying those things to yourself, you start feeling bad. You have to change it. Talk to yourself positively, like tell yourself that you have done your best and that's enough. Another tip is to celebrate small wins, small achievements, even if it's just passing a test or passing a quiz or even understanding an important topic. You have to celebrate it. For the fact, that feeling that you know that, oh yes, I achieved it, oh yes, I understood this topic on my own, yes, I understood this topic, I was the one that did it, I was the one that wrote this test well. It will boost your confidence and make you feel less like you're not enough. And that's it to overcome imposter syndrome. This one is very important because, like, these are one of the things that triggers imposter syndrome. So it's to avoid comparing yourself with people. When you compare yourself with your classmates, when you compare yourself with other people, like, see, they got good grades, but they did not read more than me, or I did not read as good as them, or I'm not measuring up to them. That is when you'll be feeling bad, and that is when you'll be feeling like you're not enough, you're not enough. So avoid comparing yourself with others. You don't even know whether that person you're comparing yourself with is feeling like the person is not enough too. Like, you don't know what everybody is going through. So avoid comparing yourself with other people. So my final tip is to visualize success. When you see yourself as, yes, when you visualize yourself as a doctor, it will help to boost your confidence and reduce doubts. Like, you're eventually going to be a doctor, so you don't need to waste your time feeling like you're not enough or you're not going to make it or that you don't belong in medical school. Who told you that? You belong in medical school, Joe. Remember that you're not alone in feeling like you don't belong. Most medical students, even those that you feel like they have accomplished many things, even those that are seeing their achievements, most of them have felt this way. Most of them have felt like they don't belong, that they don't know what they're doing. And then remember that you absolutely deserve being in medical school. So just keep pushing and be kind to yourself. If you have ever experienced imposter syndrome or you have any tips on how you cope, please drop a comment below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. See you in my next video. Bye!